evening and welcome to the Global News and Atlantic Television Network. To begin, let's take a look at the headlines. Ex-military Governor Godwin dies at 75. Army naps 4 rebels with stolen NMPCL pipes. Tinubu mourns retired Supreme Court Judge Argungu. Ipman announces no petrol price. 4 killed in Turkish hospital helicopter crash. Usyk beats Fury in heavyweight championship. Rematch Basketmouth slams filmmakers for not showcasing Nigeria's culture. And now the news in details. Chairman of the All Progressive Congress in Rivers State, Sir Tony Okocha, has sent seasoned greetings to President Bola Tinubu for his leadership plans in reviving the economy of Nigeria. Okocha used the occasion of his birthday to congratulate President Tinubu, who's seen since inception as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, has been working hard in ensuring that he revamp the economy in Nigeria. The APC leader in a chat with newsmen also greeted the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike and the APC family, both in state and national. He urged Nigerians to always pray for the president for more and better performance.
There is hope, and that hope is found in the mantra of Mr. President. Nigeria was at the brink of collapse at the point before Mr. President took over the road. And so we are praying to God, and we keep imploring Nigerians. Well, the only thing they owe Mr. President is prayer and patience. A lot of things are taking different shape for the better, for the best.
While celebrating his remarkable birthday with over 600 indigent widows in Rivers State and empowering over 100 persons with 100,000 naira each, still in Rivers State, the APC chairman in Rivers State sympathized with victims of rice stampede that occurred at Anambra State, Oyo State, and Federal Capital Territory, Abuja.
Today is my birthday. I felt we should all share in the convivialities of the birthday and say to ourselves, we wish ourselves Merry Christmas and Happy. And hearing that there is a place that rice will be shared and distributed, for them it is their right. They need to go and see what they can get. Unfortunately, the organizers of the event have also been careless, okay, not knowing the mood of the town or mood of our country now. That people are hungry. We are all agreeing that our people are hungry. And the hunger, I'm told, from even my friends who are outside this country, is not peculiar to Nigeria, as it were. It appears to be something of a novelty here, where people are finding it difficult to feed. Okay, so they all go out in their numbers, exceeding the number maybe.
Nigerian Navy says its personnel of Operation Delta Sanity has apprehended 6 suspects in 6 passenger boats conveying sacks and jerrycans of illegally refined AGO in Otukoti, Bayelsa State. The statement on its verified Facebook on Sunday, it said Operation Delta Sanity on Thursday, 19th December 2024, Nigerian Navy ship Soro intercepted and apprehended 6 suspects in 6 passenger boats conveying sacks and jerrycans of illegally refined AGO in Otukoti, Bayelsa State. Consequently, the suspects were handed over to personnel of Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, headquarters Yanagwa, Bayelsa State. It will be recalled that the operatives of the Nigerian Navy have made significant arrests over the years. Although some personnel died while fighting with the oil thieves, this has not discouraged those who are ready to fight for the common goal of Nigeria. Former military governor of Akwa Ibom and Rivers States, retired Major General Godwin Osagie Abe, is dead. Abe, who was also former Minister of Interior during the late President Umaru Yar'Adua's administration, died in Abuja on Saturday after a protracted illness. He was aged 75 years. He was the former military governor of Akwa Ibom State between 1988 and 1990 and Rivers State between 1990 and 1992. Abe bagged a postgraduate diploma in international relations from Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Osun State. He was also a graduate of the United States Army Infantry School, Fort Benning, Georgia, Ghana Armed Forces Staff College, and the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, Kuru. He was the General Officer commanding 2 Division Nigerian Army Commander, Training and Doctrine Command, and Commander, National War College. The late Abe, who retired in 1999 at the rank of Major General, joined the People's Democratic Party. Meanwhile, the Edo State Governor, Senator Monday Okpebolo, described the late general as a proud son of Edo State, whose distinguished service to the nation is a source of inspiration and pride. Akwa Ibom State Governor Umoino has reaffirmed his commitment to combating criminal activities in the state. According to a statement on Sunday, Eno made the promise during the swearing-in of 6 new High Court judges in the state. The governor also commended the Akwa Ibom State Chief Judge, Justice Ekaite Obot, for fostering collaboration among the arms of government, which he said was vital for effective governance. He emphasized that his administration was determined to ensure the rule of law was upheld and that Akwa Ibom State remained a safe and secure environment for its people. While congratulating the new judges appointed by the Nigerian Judicial Council, the governor described the appointment as a recognition of the professional competence and dedication to the judiciary. He further expressed gratitude to the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekere-Ekun, and other members of the NJC for their support in recommending the new judges. Nigerian Union of Journalists in Cross River State has lamented the inimical activities of eco-cultural displays in the Calabar metropolis and other adjoining towns during this Juletide season. As Christmas festivities and the annual Calabar Carnival heat up, many cultural dances and other displays by troops and youth groups have heightened. Such displays, especially by eco masquerade groups, have tended to harass females and attack onlookers and visiting tourists. In a communique signed by members Basi Aniekan, Ene Asukwo, and Julian Obasi had issued at the end of the Union's Congress, the NUJ called on the State Commissioner of Police to enforce the ban on certain cultural displays. The union noted that such displays and fireworks were often hijacked by hoodlums. However, the NUJ expressed happiness over the reduction in criminal activities in parts of the state, saying the installation of solar street lights has contributed to the normalcy. The chairman of NUJ in the state, Achibong Dbasi, also called on the government to intensify efforts at lighting up other streets and extend ongoing road rehabilitation to many other parts of the metropolis. Death toll from the stampede in Anambra State has risen to 22, the local authorities said on Sunday. Spokesman for the Anambra State Police Command, Tochukwu Ikenga, said the police have commenced an investigation into the incident. Ikenga, a superintendent of police, said those who are sustained injuries are receiving medical treatment. The stampede took place on Saturday during a rice distribution event at Amaranta Stadium in Ojika, Ihiala local government area. The event was organized by Obi Jackson Foundation. Anambra stampede is not the first to happen of recent, as the nation has previously recorded deaths from Abuja and Oyo stampedes in December. Shortly before the Anambra incident, another stampede occurred at the Holy Trinity Catholic Church in Maitama, Abuja, claiming the lives of 10 persons. Only a few days ago, a similar incident had occurred in Ibadan, Oyo State, where a stampede at children's fun fair resulted in the deaths of at least 35 children and left 6 others critically injured. As a result, many Nigerians, including former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and the presidential candidates in the 2023 election, Labour Party, have called for better crowd management during large-scale events owing to the multiple stampedes in 2 food distribution programs. Obi said the incident underlined the rising hunger in the country, which has led to desperation. Ogun State Police Command has arrested Taiwo Yemiton, a 45-year-old suspected ritualist who was found with a fresh human head and dismembered body parts of a female victim in the Lafenwa area of Abeokuta. SP Omolola Odutola, the command spokesperson, announced the arrest in a statement released on Sunday, explaining that Yemiton was apprehended around 1:40 a.m. at his residence behind Atinsola petrol station, Sani, Abeokuta. Acting on a tip-off from local security groups, including the Agbe Koya and vigilante operatives, police raided Yemiton's home, where the gruesome discovery was made. Odutola stated that the suspect admitted to knowing the deceased, identified as Darasimi, whom he lured to his residence with the intent to kill her. He confessed to the murder, implicating 2 accomplices, Kehinde Yemiton and one Kazim, surname unknown. The goal was to sell the victim's head and body parts. The dismembered remains have been transported to the Ijaye General Hospital morgue for a post-mortem examination. Efforts are ongoing to track down Yemiton's accomplices and relocate the victim's relatives. Odutola further disclosed that Yemiton will be transferred to the State Criminal Investigation Department, Elewara, for a comprehensive investigation and prosecution. She highlighted a disturbing trend, referencing a similar incident earlier in the year involving Aziz Adebayo, who confessed to killing 3 women lured through hookup arrangements. In a warning, Odutola cautioned young women against engaging in hookup activities, noting a high number of girls involved in hookup schemes are slaughtered for rituals. She urged parents to remain vigilant, reinforcing the need for thorough guidance to prevent their daughters from falling victim to such heinous crimes. Ondo State government has issued no directives on crowd control to enhance public safety and prevent stampedes during philanthropic and public events organized by individuals and organizations across the state. The Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice Dr. Kayode Ajulo, SAN, announced the guidelines in a statement issued in Akure over the weekend. He emphasized that clearance must be sought from security agencies and relevant authorities, with thorough risk assessments conducted before hosting any large gatherings. Ajulo highlighted critical factors to consider before approval for any public event is granted, including expected attendance, venue suitability, and potential risks for unrest. He stressed that all events must prioritize public safety while respecting citizens' constitutional rights to peaceful assembly. The guidelines, documented as Directive Number 01-1224, are backed by the powers vested in the Attorney General under Section 195 of the Constitution of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, alongside relevant sections of the Administration of Criminal Justice Law of Ondo State, 2015, and the Nigerian Police Act, 2020. Dr. Ajulo emphasized the importance of collaboration between event organizers, law enforcement, and local government authorities to ensure the success of these measures. He added that Governor Lucky Orimisan Aidetuwa's administration remains committed to fostering a secure environment where public events can take place without fear of crowd-related incidents. The Attorney General urged all stakeholders to familiarize themselves with the guidelines and ensure full compliance to avoid legal repercussions. These measures, he reiterated, represent a firm commitment by the Ondo State government to safeguarding lives and property and preventing avoidable tragedies during public events. Federal Capital Territory Minister Nyesom Wike has directed government hospitals to provide free treatments to the people that sustained injuries during a stampede at the Holy Trinity Catholic Church in Maitama, Abuja. Wike gave the directive in a statement signed by his Senior Special Assistant in Public Communications and New Media, Mr. Lere Olayenka, in Abuja on Saturday. No fewer than 10 people, including children, lost their lives, while 10 others sustained injuries to the stampede during the distribution of food items to less privileged and the elderly by the church. The sad incident occurred around 6:30 a.m. on Saturday. Wike said that the FCT administration would ensure that the injured received adequate medical attention. The minister, who commiserated with the victims, also directed that henceforth police permission should be obtained by individuals or organizations planning public distribution of palliatives, either food items or cash. Describing the incident as painful, Wike prayed for the repose of the souls of the lives that were lost and fortitude for their families to bear the irreparable loss. He commended the police and other security agencies for the prompt intervention. Kano State Command of the Federal Road Safety Corps says it has deployed 1,539 personnel to ensure effective traffic management throughout the festive season in the state. The State Sector Commander Umar Matazu made this disclosure in a statement by the command's Public Relations Officer Abdullahi Labaran on Sunday in Kano. The statement said the command deployed 5 ambulances, 25 patrol vehicles, and 1 heavy-duty towing truck, among other operational equipment. According to the statement, 8 units commands outpost, zebra and roadside clinic along Kano Zaria Road would work round the clock to ensure the safety of lives and properties on the highway. The sector commander urged road users to prioritize safety by adhering to traffic regulations and avoiding reckless behaviors that jeopardize lives. Operatives of the Bauchi Police Command have announced the arrest of 15 individuals for public disturbance in the state. The command's public relations officer, Ahmed Wakil, disclosed this in a press release issued to journalists on Sunday. He explained that the group was reported to have attacked innocent civilians and targeted the Civilians Joint Task Force office located near Kandahar Primary School. According to Wakil, the assailants set fire to the civilian JTF office and a section of the state government primary school. He noted that the swift response of police operatives had brought the situation under control. He further stated that 15 suspects had been arrested in connection with the incident and investigations are currently ongoing. The PPRO added that Commissioner of Police Awal Mohammed condemned these unprovoked acts against government facilities. He urged the citizens of Bauchi State to refrain from taking the law into their own hands and to report any concerns to the relevant authorities. The statement also noted that the police commissioner has directed the State Criminal Investigation Department to undertake a detailed investigation into the circumstances surrounding the incident. Four alleged members of the Ambazonia rebel organization have been arrested by troops of the 6th Brigade Nigerian Army Sector 3 of Operation Wellstroke in Taraba State. The troops recovered pipes allegedly stolen by the suspects from the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited in the state. The brigade's acting spokesperson, Captain Oni Olubodunde, told reporters in Jalingo, the state capital, on Saturday that the suspects were taken into custody in Takum local government area on December 18, 2024. The suspects, who are still being held pending further investigation, had 4 cell phones on. A different operation, a truck with registration number WKR66BB Taraba State, carrying 19 stolen NMPCL pipes, was monitored and stopped by troops in Natal Day Community, Bantaji District, Wukari local government area. 11 more stolen pipes were recovered in the joint operation with the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps in Wukari Division. Taraba State Command of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps has deployed 1,600 personnel across the state to ensure a peaceful Yuletide. This was disclosed by the State Commandant Anthony Bala Bitrus, who announced that all tactical units of the Corps have been mobilized to safeguard lives and property during the festive season. The command's spokesman, Ilya Samaila, shared the details in a press statement issued out to journalists in the state. The commandant revealed that the units, which he listed to include the Rapid Response Squad, Special Female Squad, Anti-Kidnapping Squad, and Operation Safe Jalingo, have been activated to address potential threats to peace and security before, during, and after the celebrations. He emphasized the importance of professionalism among deployed personnel, warning that acts of indiscipline would not be tolerated. Congratulating the Christian faithful in the state on the occasion of Christmas, he urged them to embrace the spirit of love and neighborliness, which embodies the essence of the celebration. He also advised residents to celebrate moderately and remain vigilant. He also admonished citizens spread across the state to report any suspicious activities or individuals to the nearest security agency, stressing that collective efforts are vital to initiating peace and security throughout the state. Former Governor of Zamfara State and Minister of State for Defense, Honorable Bello Mohammed Matawale, has said that none of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's policies are against northern interests. According to him, Tinubu's administration is committed to the unification of Nigeria, urging Northerners not to be deceived by individuals who oppose the country's unity. The minister stated this while addressing his teaming supporters in Gusau, the Zamfara state capital, during his 6-day visit to the state, adding that he would be visiting the state every 3 months. He assured Nigerians that the current economic challenges they are facing would soon be over, as the federal government is making serious efforts to reposition the country's economy. The minister said that the federal government's economic policies would yield beneficial results, expressing optimism that there is light at the end of the tunnel. The Zamfara State immediate past governor noted that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration inherited several problems. He disclosed that the federal government had already brought in many trailers of rice to Zamfara State for distribution to citizens as part of welfare efforts, adding that the trailers of rice are already in Gusau, the state capital. The former governor urged Nigerians to continue fervent prayers for divine intervention, emphasizing that the prayers could help reposition the country. Federal government has officially lifted the ban on mining exploration in Zamfara State over 5 years after the restriction was imposed due to security concerns. This decision comes on the back of significant improvements in the security situation across the state, marking a critical step toward reviving Zamfara's vast mineral potential. Announcing the development at a press briefing, the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dr. Dele Alake, underscored the economic importance of the state, which is home to abundant deposits of gold, lithium, and copper. While acknowledging the necessity of the 2019 ban to address the ties between illegal mining and banditry, Alake noted that it inadvertently created opportunities for illegal activities that drained national resources. The ban was initially imposed to curb the escalation of insecurity fueled by illegal mining activities. However, the Tinubu administration's intelligence-driven security operations have neutralized several key bandits leaders, including the capture of notorious commander Halilu Sububu in a covert operation, significantly reducing insecurity in the region. The lifting of the ban is expected to pave the way for enhanced regulation, intelligence gathering, and the prevention of illegal mining. This move will also attract indigenous and foreign investors, bolstering economic activities and creating jobs in the region. Addressing concerns over a recently signed memorandum of understanding with France, Alake clarified that the agreement focuses solely on capacity building and technical support for Nigeria's mining professionals. He dismissed rumors of military pacts or foreign control over Nigeria's resources. President Bola Tinubu has expressed deep sorrow over the death of retired Supreme Court Justice Uthman Argungu, describing his passing as a profound personal and national loss. Justice Argungu, who died at the age of 90, was laid to rest on Sunday in his hometown of Argungu, KB State, following Islamic rites. A respected legal luminary and cherished associate of the president, Justice Argungu leaves behind a legacy of unwavering dedication to the service of his nation. In a heartfelt tribute, President Tinubu remembered the late elder statesman as a distinguished jurist whose contributions to the judiciary and the legal professional remain invaluable. A Sunday statement issued by Bayo Onanuga, special advisor to the president on information and strategy, detailed Justice Agungu's illustrious career, beginning with his early years as a teacher in the Old Sokoto province. Justice Argungu's influence reached beyond Nigeria, with notable service as a visiting justice of the Supreme Court of the Gambia. In honor of his enduring contributions, Tinubu offered prayers for the repose of his soul and extended heartfelt condolences to his family, the government, and the people of KB State. You're watching the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, Global News continues. Stay with us.
Easy motion, low emotion. Make your calls to all networks. No, they say, na go there. Better days, better service, better network. Better outcome.
wishing you a Merry Christmas, Nigeria. Glow.
Thanks for staying with us. You're watching the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. And now to the rest of our stories. Vice President Kashim Shettima has mourned the victims of the recent tragic stampedes that claimed lives across the country. Shettima, in a statement on Sunday by his spokesman, Stanley Nkwocha, highlighted the urgent need for improved safety measures during public gatherings. In his condolence message, he expressed deep sorrow over the losses, just as he offered prayers and heartfelt condolences. He further assured affected families that the federal government would provide necessary supports during this difficult period. In Okija, Anambra State, what was meant to be a Christmas palliative distribution on Saturday turned tragic when 22 persons lost their lives, with several others were injured during an early morning stampede. The same day in Abuja, another tragedy struck when 10 persons died during an annual Christmas food sharing event at Holy Trinity Catholic Church, Maitama. Former President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed deep sorrow over the tragic stampedes that claimed numerous lives in Oyo State, the Federal Capital Territory, and Anambra State. In a message on Sunday, Buhari conveyed his heartfelt condolences to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and sympathized with the affected communities. This was contained in a statement signed by his media spokesman, Garba Shehu, titled, Buhari condoles loss of lives in stampedes, extends Christmas, New Year greetings. The former president extended his sympathies to Governors Seyi Makinde of Oyo State, Professor Chukwuma Soludo of Anambra State, and the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, urging them to convey his support and prayers to the families and loved ones of the victims. Buhari also wished a swift recovery to those injured. In his message, Buhari acknowledged the Catholic community's loss and stood in solidarity with them during this difficult time. As the nation prepares for the holiday season, the former president extended warm Christmas and New Year wishes to Nigerians, urging them to embrace compassion, unity, and peace in line with the teachings of Jesus Christ. Nigerian police force has dismissed allegations made by Amnesty International in its report, describing the claims as false, misleading, and damaging to the image of the force. The report, dated November 28, 2024, accused the police of extrajudicial killings during the protests, claiming that at least 24 people were killed in 6 northern states. Addressing a press briefing on the matter on Sunday, Force spokesperson Muyiwa Adejobi revealed that a special investigative panel had been constituted to verify the claims. He explained that the panel, in collaboration with commissioners of police from the affected states, conducted extensive investigations and compiled a comprehensive report highlighting inaccuracies in Amnesty International's allegations. He added that the police would write to demand a retraction of the report, as well as a public apology for the alleged inaccuracies. Ailing out the police findings in Borno, Adejobi said the police didn't use grenades, as claimed by the organization. In Niger State, Adejobi said the claim that 3 individuals were shot dead in Suleja was debunked in the police findings. Adejobi said the alleged killings of a 21-year-old in Katsina was also found to be unsubstantiated, adding that local sources confirmed that no such incident occurred. Also in Kaduna State, Adejobi said, contrary to Amnesty International's report, no protests occurred in Kaduna on October 1, 2024, and no police killings were recorded. He said instead, an accident An incident involving the Nigerian army was identified and openly investigated. Adejobi said Amnesty International reported the deaths of 2 women and a man during protests in Jigawa, but the police investigations revealed no such killings, and evidence suggested that the lone fatality was caused by protesters' violence, not police action. In Kano State, Adejobi said the reports alleged 12 deaths in Kano due to police actions, stating that investigations indicated that these deaths resulted from violent confrontations involving looters and criminals, not police activity. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, in a series of daring operations, has intercepted large consignments of illicit drugs and arrested several suspects across Nigeria. This was disclosed in a statement signed by the agency's Director of Media and Advocacy, Femi Babafemi, and shared on the agency's website on Sunday. The most notable bust occurred at the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport, where an imports and exports businessman, Olisaka Chibuzo Callistus, was caught attempting to smuggle 256 wraps of cocaine weighing 6 kilograms into the country. The agency revealed that the cocaine was concealed in his body, marking the largest interception of cocaine at the Kano airport since 2006. Another significant arrest occurred at the Muritala Muhammad International Airport in Lagos, where an ex-convict, Olarawaju Bada Akorede, was caught trying to export a consignment of rohypnol to South Africa. Akorede, previously convicted of a similar offense, had earlier paid a fine of 900,000 naira to avoid imprisonment. Additionally, an Italy-based businesswoman, Cynthia Akane, was arrested at Lagos Airport while attempting to board a flight to Italy with 9,190 tramadol tablets weighing 6 kilograms. The NDLEA also raided a warehouse in Onitsha, Anambra State, uncovering 418,330 pills of tramadol and tiptandol, along with 8,000 bottles of codeine syrup. The statement detailed additional raids in Oyo and Enugu states, as well as a joint security operation at Tinkan Island Port, Lagos, which resulted in the interception of 180,000 bottles of codeine syrup concealed in a container from India. The NDLEA has intensified its war against drug abuse campaign, educating communities in Adamawa, Kano, and Kebbi states about the dangers of drug abuse through outreach programs in schools, religious centers, and workplaces. As the holiday season approaches, the National Agency for the Control of AIDS has urged Nigerians to prioritize their health by knowing their HIV status. The Director General of NACA, Dr. Temitokpe Ilori, made this appeal in a statement signed by the agency's Head of Public Relations and Protocol, Toyin Aderibigbe, on Sunday. Dr. Ilori noted that Christmas is a time for joy and celebration, but also presents an opportunity to make informed and responsible decisions about one's health. She emphasized that HIV remains a significant public health concern, but with advancements in testing and treatment, it is no longer a death sentence. According to her, early diagnosis ensures access to life-saving medication and a healthier, longer life. The NACA DG explained that ignorance is no longer an excuse, as there is now widespread access to HIV testing and education, providing everyone with the tools to make informed choices. She reiterated that NACA remains steadfast in its commitment to reducing the spread of HIV and achieving an AIDS-free Nigeria. Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has called on Senate President Godswill Akpabio and Speaker of the House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas to slash extravagant budget allocations for the presidency and National Assembly. ATN reports that the budget was presented on Wednesday and the Senate passed the 49.7 trillion naira restoration budget for a second reading on Thursday after various deliberations. SERAP's demand made public in a letter dated 21st December 2024 but released on Sunday highlights the 9.4 billion naira earmarked for travel, meals and catering for the presidency, alongside the proposed 344.85 billion naira for lawmakers in the 2025 budget. SERAP insists these figures reflect unnecessary spending that could be redirected to address Nigeria's growing budget deficit and improve public services. The agency's Deputy Director, Kolawole Oluwadare, expressed the organization's concerns, stating that any proposed unnecessary spending by the Presidency and the National Assembly would amount to a fundamental breach of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended. The organization urged Akpabio and Abbas to request President Bola Tinubu to present a revised supplementary appropriation bill reflecting reduced budgets for the presidency and the National Assembly. SERAP further called on the National Assembly to disclose the breakdown of the proposed budget publicly, pressing lawmakers to commit to reducing the 344.8 billion naira allocated for 2025. SERAP also flagged excessive allocations for travel expenses, revealing that the presidency plans to spend 8.74 billion naira on local and international trips by Tinubu and Vice President Kashim Shettima. And now on to business news. Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has reduced its ex-depot prices of premium motor spirits petrol to 899 naira from 1,020 naira per litre for oil marketers. Petroleum Products Retail Outlets Owners Association of Nigeria, Petroan, spokesperson Joseph Obele disclosed this in a statement on Saturday. A document released by the NNPC Commercial Department, cited by newsmen, shows the latest reduction based on the regional pricing scheme as follows: Lagos, 899 naira; Warri, 917 naira; Ogara, 970 naira; Port Harcourt, 970 naira; and Calabar, 970 naira. The price reduction by NNPC is in response to the recent price adjustment announced by Dangote Refinery. Reacting to the development, Petroan National President Billy Gillis-Harry said the price reduction will bring relief to motorists and Nigerians during the holiday season. ATN reports that Petroan had urged NNPCL to slash its ex-depot prices of PMS as Dangote Refinery did. Recall that on December 19, 2024, it reduced its ex-depot price to 899.50 naira per litre, down from 970 naira. Meanwhile, this means that there is a slight 15 naira margin between NNPC and Dangote petrol prices. Meanwhile, Nigerians currently buy petrol between 1,040 naira per litre and 1,150 naira at filling stations nationwide. Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria has announced that the pump price of petrol will reduce to 935 naira per litre by Monday. The development, according to IPMAN, follows the marketers' new deal with Dangote Refinery. IPMAN National President Alhaji Maigandi Garima, who made this known on a Sunday in Abuja, commended the Dangote Refinery for the development. According to him, the new price was necessitated by the reduction in Dangote Refinery's fuel ex-depot price, a uniform arrangement which would enable marketers to sell at 935 naira in their outlets nationwide. In a bid to ensure that the price reduction gets to the consumers, Dangote Refinery signed a partnership with MRS to sell petrol from its retail outlets nationwide at 935 naira. The price reduction, which is designed to alleviate transport costs during the festive period and beyond, has already commenced in Lagos and will be applicable nationwide from Monday. Garima said the competition being witnessed in the downstream sector at the moment will see the price of fuel dropping continuously. Recall that during the 2023 Yuletide, a liter of fuel was sold at 2,000 naira in the northern and eastern parts of the country because fuel was being imported at that period. He noted that the highest price fuel is being sold in the areas currently is 1,100 naira because refineries are working in the country. He equally commended the naira for the crude swap deal, adding that it is good for the growth of the economy. Organized private sector on Sunday expressed strong opposition to the Central Bank of Nigeria's decision to impose limits on withdrawals from point-of-sale agents, claiming the bank is out of touch with the reality of the ground. On the ground. The CBN recently introduced a daily cash-out transaction limit of 100,000 naira per individual customer for POS agents as part of a wider efforts to advance Nigeria's cashless policy. The directive, which was issued on Wednesday, limits withdrawals for POS transactions and is aimed at addressing issues related to fraud and promoting electronic payments. The circular, dated December 17, 2024, and addressed to deposit money banks, microfinance banks, mobile money operators, and super agents mandates immediate compliance by all stakeholders. The CBN's action sets a weekly withdrawal limit of 500,000 naira per customer, with POS terminals restricted to 100,000 naira per day. It further outlines that no agent's daily cumulative cash out limit should exceed 1.2 million naira. Additionally, all transactions must be conducted through float accounts maintained by the principal financial institutions. However, the policy is expected to have significant implications for POS operators and the customers, particularly in areas with limited banking infrastructure. Dele Oye, president of the Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, stated that the CBN's policies are increasingly disconnected from the realities of Nigeria's economic situation. He pointed out that the closure of many bank branches across the country, particularly in rural areas, compounded the problem. Further, Oye highlighted the issue of the diminished value of 100,000 naira, which has become insufficient to cover basic living costs due to the economic challenges faced by Nigerians. Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission has reported a decline in the revenue collection efficiency of distribution companies for the third quarter of 2024. The efficiency rates decreased by 4.76% points, dropping from 79.31% in second quarter to 74.55% in third quarter. This was contained in the Commission's third quarter 2024 reports released on Saturday. These decline shows growing challenges in the nation's electricity distribution sector, despite an increase in the total revenue collected. In third quarter, DISCOs collected 466.69 billion naira out of the 626.02 billion naira billed to customers, compared to 431.16 billion naira collected from 543.64 billion naira billed in second quarter, the report noted. The data trends suggest that the recent decline in the revenue collection efficiency of distribution companies between second quarter and third quarter 2024 may be partially attributed to an increase in energy offtake during the period. Petroleum Tanker Drivers Branch of the Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers has decried its exclusion from the compressed natural gas conversion scheme granted to other transport associations in the country. The union said its exclusion from the scheme was a big oversight given its wide network that would have been of immense benefit to the government and Nigerians. PTD Nupeng also urged the federal government to ensure quick repair of all federal highways before the rainy season to avoid total collapse of road infrastructure, particularly those roads that public funds have already been earmarked for their reconstruction and execution. The union spoke in a communique issued at the end of its quarterly National Executive Committee meeting held in Benin, Edo State, capital, at the weekend. You're still watching the news on Atlantic Television Network. Up next is international tidbits. Death toll from Cyclone Chida's devastating impact in Mozambique has risen to 94, the country's disaster management agency announced on Sunday, up from an earlier count of 76. The cyclone, which ravaged the Indian Ocean region last week, left a trail of destruction in its wake, including the obliteration of over 110,000 homes in Mozambique. Cyclone Chida first struck the French island territory of Mayotte before making landfall on Mozambique's northern coast, where it unleashed winds of up to 260 kilometers, 160 miles per hour, and dropped 250 millimeters, 10 inches of rain in just 24 hours. The northern province of Cabo Delgado bore the brunt of the storm, already struggling with a prolonged Islamist insurgency. The region saw extensive damage, including the destruction of infrastructure, such as a mosque in the Mekofi district, which lost its roof in the gale. More than 620,000 people have been affected by the cyclone, with over 500,000 concentrated in Cabo Delgado. Relief efforts are ongoing, but the scale of destruction has hampered immediate recovery, leaving many residents without shelter, food, or access to clean water. The cyclone's devastation comes at a time of heightened political tensions in Mozambique. The ruling Frelimo party, in power since the country's independence from Portugal, is facing allegations of electoral fraud following the contentious October presidential election. Frelimo candidate Daniel Chapo, whose victory has been denounced by the opposition and criticized by international observers as flawed, visited the cyclone-affected regions on Sunday. At least 130 people have been killed in protests against the election results, according to Plataforma Decide, a local civil society organization cited by Amnesty International. Four people, including a doctor, have been killed in southwest Turkey after an ambulance helicopter collided with the hospital building and crashed into the ground. The incident occurred in the city of Muğla on Sunday. The city's health ministry said in a statement that the incident occurred as the helicopter took off from the Muğla Training and Research Hospital to pick up a patient in the neighboring province of Antalya. The helicopter was carrying two pilots, a doctor and another medical worker. All four perished in the crash. Muğla's regional governor, Idris Akbiyik, said the helicopter first hit the fourth floor of the hospital building before crashing into the ground. He said no one inside the building or on the ground was hurt. Akbiyik said the accident occurred during heavy fog, although the cause of the crash is still being investigated. The accident comes just under 2 weeks after 6 soldiers were killed when 2 helicopters collided during an army training exercise in Turkey's southwestern Isparta province. Here now is ATN Sports News. Alexander Usyk won his heavyweight championship rematch against Tyson Fury by unanimous decision overnight on Saturday to stay unbeaten across 2 divisions and cement his place among the greats. The Ukrainian, who forced the peace and repeatedly tagged Fury with his accurate left hook, was awarded the fight 116 to 112 by all 3 judges, handing Fury his second straight loss. Usyk's win takes him to 23-0 with 14 knockouts and extends one of the all-time best careers that includes Olympic gold and undisputed champion at cruiserweight. Only the WBA, WBO, and WBC belts were on the line this time after Usyk focused on the lucrative rematch, relinquished his IBF title rather than face challenger Daniel Dubois. The 6 feet 9 inch Britain's jab held Usyk at bay early on, and he landed a jarring right in round 2. Usyk caught Fury flush with the left as he raised the piece in round 3. They went toe-to-toe in a punishing 5th round, with Fury pummeling body shots, while Usyk launched a flurry to the head. In the 6th, the strong Fury with a clean hit to the nose. Usyk, who briefly served as a soldier after the Russian invasion, then celebrated by holding up a saber that belonged to Ivan Mazepa, a hero of Ukrainian nationalism who fought against Russian control in the early 70s. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky was quick to hail the victory, calling it proof that Ukraine will not give up what's ours after nearly 3 years of war with Russia. Under fire, Manchester City coach Pep Guardiola has blamed the team's injury crisis for the poor run of form following another defeat to Aston Villa in the Premier League on Saturday. The defending champions suffered a 2-1 defeat as Villa packed to record a second consecutive defeat in the Premier League, which extended their disastrous run. The citizens have now won just once in 12 games in all competitions, losing 9 times. The miserable run to further pile more pressure on Pep Guardiola. The Spaniard has revealed a resolution to the team's poor form, blaming injuries to key players for their inability to bring an end to the slump. Manchester City have been without Rodri, Oscar Bob, Nathan Ake, Ruben Dias and John Stones also joined the growing list of injured players. Guardiola, however, praised his players for their first half performance against Aston Villa, and he has backed them to recover the confidence ahead of the busy festive period. Guardiola has given his players 2 days off to clear their heads ahead of their Premier League clash against Everton on Thursday. Manchester City have now dropped 24 points before the halfway point of the season after only dropping 23 points in the whole of last season. And now we bring you the entertainment news. Popular comedian and filmmaker Bright Okwocha, aka Basket Mouth, has accused some of his colleagues of not showcasing Nigeria's rich culture in their movies. The movie star alleged that most of the epic movies released recently do not promote the country's culture. In an interview, Basket Mouth claimed that the filmmakers wasted opportunities to showcase Nigeria's culture positively. A Brazil court has ordered that a song by British singer Adele be removed from radio and all streaming platforms globally over alleged copyright. The judge, Victor Torres, gave the judgment after Brazil local composer Tonino Garez accused Adele of copying works from his 1995 album. Tonino Garez claimed that Adele's 2015 song Million Years Ago was copied from his 1996 classic Mulheres, sung by Martino da Veiga, a Brazilian singer. Garez is suing for lost royalties, demanding $160,000 in moral damages and wants a songwriting credit on Adele's song. The court also threatened Brazilian subsidiaries of Sony and Universal with $8,000 fine per act of non-compliance. And that's the size of the package on Global News for tonight. Before we go another look at the major stories. Well, we told you that ex-military Governor Godwin dies at 75. You also heard that Army naps 4 rebels with stolen NMPCL pipes. You heard that Tinubu mourns retired Supreme Court Judge Argungu. Ipman announces new petrol price. We also told you that 4 killed in Turkish hospital. And also, Usyk beats Fury in heavyweight championship rematch. We also told you that Basket Mouth slams filmmakers for not showcasing Nigeria's culture. That's it on the Global News for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, you can follow us on our social media platforms, Twitter at Atlantic TV Net, Facebook and YouTube at Atlantic Television Network, Instagram at Atlantic Network. Remember, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you so much for watching. I am Victor Peter. Good night.